Let me get Chef. Go ahead, Chef.
So
I'm tagging
I'll
you in.
start with cues like historical reference, right? Like in the government providing women with opportunities to live without men and all these other things that have destroyed the black family overall. Y'all been kikiing and laughing about this shit, but let's be a little bit thorough about it, right? We're talking about men who can't lead, right? So you've had about 50 to 60 years worth of this independence. So you raised about two generations worth of men that can't lead. A lot of those men were raised by single women. So there's that, right? And then you step into it, and now, regardless of whatever man steps into your space, you already know that he can't lead. Well, you know he can't lead because he nor you have had male influences that have shown you true leadership, right? So a lot of that, all of this is very empty-handed, right? So like back to Mary's point about you even having any type of trust in a man, you haven't seen what male leadership looks like in a healthy sentiment. You haven't had the chance to actually raise men who know how to do that or put them around other male influences where they can learn what it looks like to lead themselves, but also lead a woman into marriage, into a relationship, etc. Right? So those active examples haven't been seen consistently. And I think a lot of what entertains women is the fact that men can't do this, but it's just like when you look in the context, a lot of what men know today is a lack of masculinity and being able to lead in that sense, but it's largely because most of the influences are feminine.
Hmm.
And that's not to call them effeminate. No, I'm not doing that. But it's like y'all are saying there's a lack of so much male leadership, but most of that leadership has been learned from y'all. So
I knew somebody was going to bring up government stuff. The government has stepped in and taken men from the homes a lot of times, and men don't want to be in a home. So it forces women to have to be in these
nah,
leadership
that's
roles
subjective.
when we don't
That's
want to be.
subjective. That's subjective. When we know statistically, a lot of women keep men from seeing their children
Not
and
all.
utilize the system because that's why I gave it context initially. So it's like, y'all utilize it because that tool is there. And most women today prefer to be baby mothers as to actual mothers and wives. So they rather not even deal with a man because of that deficit view that they have of men already. So even before they begin to utilize that government tool, again, back to Mary's point, y'all already think he ain't shit anyway from the jump. And sis with the strobe light, she was gave that example too. It was just like, yo, I already know he ain't shit. It's just like this nigga ain't say but
We
two
already
words.
know, but I'm not saying we push him to the side or we put him
Now
down
don't
or
say we,
we
say
don't
I.
help them.
I for
Like
your
I
choices
said,
in
I'm
bad
not
men.
saying we get rid of them, we toss them to the side. We know they can't leave because of they didn't have male figures. Like we know that. So we work with them, but until we can.
But a lot of women haven't had those same male figures. So y'all as jacked up as the men are that y'all don't want to entertain.
But we getting the
So should we
self-healing,
not
the
entertain them at
self-love.
all? Should we
Y'all
just
not.
say should we
The
just say
way
no?
that Nate just used self-love is the same way that other brother was talking about. That surface level
I
bullshit.
didn't hear
It's
what
just
she
like
said.
I
was
did.
talking.
I did.
Oh, let
It's
me
just like
get. Go ahead, P. Let me get Chief in here. Let me get Adrian in here. What you think?
So first of all, I'm offended. One, just by the comment that men can't lead, I'm offended that us modern day men can't lead. I'm offended. Secondly, I was raised by a single woman. I'm super offended by that, but I'm willing to have the conversation about it. So before I even get into the dialogue, Nay, I'm gonna call on you because you were the first one to speak on the topic. What does leadership from a man look like? So I'm sitting back in the student seat right now, going, okay, you want a man to lead? Teach me what you want. What does it look like for you?
I want you to be the head of the household. I want you to be able to make decisions for our family that would say, okay, we should be in this position. Allow me to have a voice, yes, but be able to make decisions for the family financially or just overall. And if you can't do that for me, it's like, okay, why do I feel like I have to be in a seat where I feel like I'm the one making the decision? I want you to be able to make a decision for our family that you feel like would be best to make our family grow and thrive.
Okay, so sis, in regards to the answer she just gave me, you said you walk into it off the rip like, nah, he ain't got it. I don't think a man can display or disclose those things in the very beginning? Doesn't that require time to be able to determine whether or not he can lead the family, he can make those decisions, he can balance the finances, whatever that case may be?
I mean,
And
sometimes
I've
you
dealt,
just
I've
know.
dealt with people that took a
See,
while.
she's talking again. I can't even think.
I think sis overall has said that. She said that's why we work with those type of men. She said, yeah, I go into it like that, but I also work with those type of men.
Okay, so what does it look like for you, Mary? Leading from if I sat down and said, Mary, I want to be with you, teach me how to lead so I can make you happy. What does that look like?
So with you being able to lead, I would have to be submissive. I know when we had a submissive conversation, a lot of women were not willing to be submissive. You are not willing, you're not going to have a leader in any form that it looks like. If you are not willing to be submissive, you are not going to have a leader.
Yeah, I missed the submissive conversation, and I get that. But what does it look like from my perspective? You saying, Chief, I need you to XYZ.
Like you being able to have a plan A, B, and C already figured out. You being able to do things without me asking or without me telling you. There's a difference between teaching somebody certain things that they don't know and things like that. But overall, just you being able to just figure it out. Like, I don't have to worry. Like, being a leader to me is I can leave my house for 5 days and not speak to nobody and know that everybody is okay. You get what I'm saying? That's the kind of leader that I enjoy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And Nay, how does it look, right? If he makes a poor decision and you standing back there like, see, I told you. That's what you get. Because that's what happens to men.
I give chances and opportunities. I've been there before for a long time, and I got tired after a while. Like, we keep going down this path. It's tiring. But I give chances and opportunities for you to do, and I might use my voice to say, okay, well, how about we try this way? But I've dealt with some really narcissistic men that wouldn't really allow me to do that. So, after a while, you get tired. It's like, yeah, I'm out.
What you think, Mr. White?
I think that for the most part, I'll say a large minority of women do look for men to. I think, as was proven here, I think they really don't know what it looks like, right? So a lot of times you'll be willing to follow him until he does a decision that you don't agree with or he fails. Everybody at the top has failed multiple times. But if you're truly allowing him to lead and say, okay, I'm gonna rock with you, are you gonna put a limit on his failures? Then it's like you never was really with him to begin with. Or it goes back to when I was talking to y'all about y'all standards and y'all moving too fast. Like Chief was saying, y'all, it takes time to figure these questions out about men. But then you got the majority of women saying, nah, they probably gonna get it wrong anyway, like off the rip, like not even giving them another chance at all.
You're saying the minority of women or the majority of women do that?
That's the majority. But I think it's a lot the other way too, though. You know what I mean? I give like 55, 45.
That give opportunities and expect to be led?
Right.
45% of women do that, you're saying?
I feel like they do. That they go into it at least wanting it, but they don't know what it is. That's why they can't stay in it.
Oh, I think
the majority of women run around like sis, like, oh, nah, I'm not even gonna give you the opportunity.
But do you think that the majority of women's assumption is that this man can't lead, or he need to prove to me that he can lead?
Absolutely.
And then how do we prove it if they don't know what it looks like themselves?
That was my point.
But I do know what it looks like to lead. That's all my father did. So I do know what that looks like when a man can lead a household.
We're saying,
so
we're just saying the majority, like how the majority don't know what it actually looks like. So for them to just totally stop, that don't make sense.
I'm a victim.
Yeah, man. I like it. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we out.